Coming up on Citrus TV News live at 6.
A Central New York favorite is coming back to the Carrier Dome.
The crisis in Flint, Michigan moves to Washington, D.C.
But first, Citrus TV's reporter Danielle Reed talks to us about the Community Folk Arts Center.
Citrus TV News at 6 starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Gabriella Rusk.
And I'm Max Darrow. Celebrations for Black History Month are officially underway. That's our top story tonight.
The Community Folk Arts Center in Syracuse held their first kickoff event for Black History Month.
Citrus TV reporter Danielle Reed has more.
Drums, singing, and applause could be heard from East Genesee Street outside of the Community Folk Arts Center last Friday night.
What we like to do is kick off the month of celebration of African American art, culture, and people by having a concert that really brings an artist that a lot of people may not see.
Tawana Shante, a vocal artist from Mississippi, was selected to perform at this year's kickoff, and the circumstances of her audition may shock you.
I actually heard her sing in a parking lot in Memphis, Tennessee. She said that she sang, and I said, okay, let me hear you sing. And she was like, here? And I said, yeah. And when she sang, I felt my world change.
Every year, the Community Folk Arts Center prides itself on bringing artists with musical forms from the African diaspora that people may not hear on the radio or in popular media. Shante and her band, Eclectic Soul, were the perfect fit. Just ask student Gerald Brown.
Oh my gosh, a ridiculous time. The artist herself is incredible. If I was a musician, I probably feel like that would probably be me out there. But the band is awesome, great atmosphere, great people, just a great night, a great Friday night.
And Friday was just the beginning of a month full of great events, panels, banquets, and lectures. And if you're looking for the entire schedule of Black History Month events, come pick one up. Right here in the Office of Multicultural Affairs, located downstairs in the Shine Student Center. In Syracuse, Danielle Reed, Citrus TV News.
The College of Engineering and Computer Science has become the fourth college on campus to offer online degrees through 2U. The partnership will enhance existing online degrees and launch new degree options. Syracuse will begin accepting applications in May. Classes start in October. And monster truck fans, listen up. The stunt show Monster Jam will be returning to the Carrier Dome on March 5th. This will be the last stop in the Monster Jam Fox Sports 1 Championship Series. In the past, the event has sold out the Carrier Dome with over 35,000 fans in attendance.
The company redeveloping the Syracuse Inner Harbor has asked a court to reject a $3.24 million project to be paid to the Syracuse Industrial Development Agency. The fee is to be paid for tax breaks on $342 million project. This is the second attack on the project by the city since alleged promises were broken in December 2015. Acclaimed sports writer Bob Ryan visited the Syracuse University campus to tell us what insight Ryan had to offer students. Citrus TV's Noah Wolf has more.
Bob Ryan has had an illustrious career that has spanned across major networks and publications. He's most known for his work at the Boston Globe covering the Celtics and for his time on ESPN's Around the Horn. And it clearly meant a lot for him to speak here.
When I come to an event like this, it gives me a chance, A, to show off a little bit, but B, to have fun, interact with young people, and also to talk about something that I really love, which is writing and journalism.
The event was set up through the Syracuse NSSA chapter, a networking organization for aspiring sports journalists to make connections with some of the industry's brightest talents.
It's just a great networking tool for students to hear speakers that work in the industry.
Bob Ryan spoke about his time covering Boston sports as a columnist for the Boston Globe, his forays into television, and of course, his relationship with basketball great Larry Bird.
Coming up after the break, we'll look at stories making headlines across the country and around the world.
And just days after the Iowa caucuses, candidates have their sights set on New Hampshire. Stick around.
And taking a look outside right now at your current conditions, it is 53 degrees outside, feels more like 52 though, and winds have tapered off for the rest of the day, a welcome relief from the winds we saw this morning. As we look out across the region, over the past couple hours, you can see things have been mostly clear in the Syracuse area, but what I'll let you know about after the break is when things will change into snow and what we can expect for the rest of the week. Citrus TV News will be back in just a moment.
Welcome to Orange Press Pass.
Orange Press Pass is your ticket inside the Syracuse locker room. Hear from the coaches.
We got some open looks from the perimeter
and players.
Well, I saw pressure coming from the backside.
Get in-depth analysis, reports on site, and more.
Let's go on OPP.
Orange Press Pass, live after every Syracuse game.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
First day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does. And like that, you're a job creator.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish! In your face! In your face!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
Rival candidates for the Republican presidential nomination are trying to cut Donald Trump's lead in New Hampshire and even trying to embarrass him, denying him a victory in the state.
The Republicans aggressively challenged Trump yesterday in New Hampshire, emboldened by his defeat in Iowa.
3 GOP candidates, Rand Paul, Mike Huckabee, and Rick Santorum, have ended their bids for the nomination.
Paul aims to focus more on his Senate re-election and is not expected to make an endorsement in the presidential race before the New Hampshire primary.
Candidate Chris Christie is expected to receive another key endorsement, this time from New Hampshire House Speaker Sean Jasper.
And on the other side, Democrat Gabby Giffords spoke today as part of endorsement for candidate Hillary Clinton. Investigators have announced that the middle school student who went missing from her home in Blacksburg, Virginia 1 week ago was stabbed to death.
Authorities have not answered questions about how 2 Virginia Tech students crossed paths with 13-year-old Nicole Lovell, or why one of them would allegedly kill her.
David Eisenhower faces murder and abduction charges, and police say he and Nicole knew each other before her disappearance.
His classmate Natalie Keepers faces a new charge of being an accessory to murder before the fact.
Robert Durst has pled guilty to illegally possessing a firearm in New Orleans federal court.
Experts say the 85-month federal prison stint from the plea bargain will hurt his chances to actually avoid a murder trial.
This charge follows his March 2015 arrest after he was trying to flee the country.
The estranged member of a New York real estate family has been a suspect in several murders shown in the 6-part documentary series on HBO.
California's Attorney General is bringing legal trouble to the Southern California Gas Company in connection to a gas leak at one of its facilities near a Los Angeles suburb.
The company is expected to face 4 misdemeanors and a civil lawsuit for failing to report the methane leak. This leak is forcing thousands of Porter Ranch residents to relocate.
If the company is convicted, it could be fined up to $25,000 a day for each day it failed to notify the state about the leak.
And the head of the EPA says misconduct on the part of Michigan authorities led to the Flint water crisis.
The official says the authorities added anti-corrosive materials to the water they distributed, which triggered the lead poisoning.
We simply do not have the right to remain silent. We do not have the right not to act. Government broke it. Government must fix it.
There is frustration with the EPA as well for its reluctance to address the crisis when high concentrations of lead were first reported.
And the former Pennsylvania prosecutor Bruce Castor, involved with Bill Cosby's case, that said that he thought he barred Cosby's prosecution 11 years ago.
He testified in a pretrial hearing yesterday where Cosby's attorneys are asking a judge to drop the recent sexual assault charges against him.
The lawyers say the charges filed last year should be dismissed because of Castor's announcement in 2005, which said Cosby would not be convicted.
Castor testified that he thought the case was not strong enough for conviction.
And moving to news across the world, an official says airstrikes in Afghanistan killed 29 militants pledged to the Islamic State.
The strikes also destroyed a radio station that had been used to spread propaganda to listeners in eastern Afghanistan.
A defense ministry spokesman says the Afghan Air Force carried out the airstrikes against the Islamic State's loose affiliate.
The United States is increasing its military presence in Syria. There are 50 reported U.S. Special Forces on the ground.
Satellite images of an agriculture strip revealed the construction of a military airfield. The base is located in Kurdish territory, but only 100 miles from ISIS positions.
Occupation in Syria is dedicated to both building a better relationship with their allies and investigating methods to attack ISIS.
North Korea is planning to launch a satellite into orbit this month, and the international community fears the launch is a ploy for a ballistic missile test.
North Korea claims it is simply for Earth observation, but U.S. officials say the rocket used to launch the satellite can also be used to fire a long-range missile.
Now, this comes a month after North Korea completed its first hydrogen bomb test.
And coming up after the break, Yahoo's luck isn't getting any better, and health concerns continue surrounding the Zika virus. But first, I'm continuing to track when the rain will leave the area and when we'll see snow again, with the weekend always in view. Next on CitrusTV News, live at 6.
Jimmy can't sing, and Tommy can't dance, so we're gonna put some ants in their pants. Aww.
Kids will spend 22 minutes watching us, the super duper party troopers, sing about ants in their pants.
Isn't that funny? Ants in their pants, they got ants in their pants, they've got ants in their pants.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Now, Gabriella, while the Syracuse area is not covered in snow right now, the Midwest is digging out.
Central and eastern Nebraska is digging out of 20 inches of snow today with winds gusting up to 50 miles per hour.
Minnesota declared a state of emergency and highways in Kansas were closed.
Turning to local weather, unusual rain hit the Syracuse area today. Will this weather stick around?
Citrus TV's Nick Ross has our full weather forecast.
Thanks, guys. Rain did hit the area today, and that's not something we'd see typically happen in February. 53 degrees outside right now is your current temperature, mostly cloudy, and winds over the day were not nearly as strong as they were in the morning. Actually, speaking of the fact that we wouldn't usually get rain in February, if we take a look out at the almanac, you can see that record temperature at 53 degrees we at least hit today. The high looked to be around 54 degrees, so we should have actually broken that record set in 1973. It's nice to see, though, that we're sitting well above averages. 32 degrees would be the average high and the low of 16. The warmer temperatures, though, are not here to stay. As we look at it tonight, 36 degrees overnight. Showers early, 50% chance of showers overnight. Things are looking relatively clear on the radar, but a few flurries could be possible as that temperature drops and that wind will continue, though it'll calm down overnight. As we look out across the future radar on the Intellicast for the next 24 hours, you'll see this green that we're seeing here changes into this purple mix of snow and rain that we'll see overnight. Although if you look right at the Syracuse area there, most of it is going to pass us, go either to the north or south of us, so we shouldn't have too much of that to worry about. And then when we take a look at the 5-day, you'll see things clear up quite a bit. Talking about that rain today made things feel much colder, and combined with that rain that we saw really cooled things down. Even though your temperature was a lot higher than it normally would be. As we look at your wind speeds today, you can see a lot of green kind of right in the Syracuse area. Those are wind speeds that are reaching close to 30 miles an hour, so quite some strong winds. But as we look throughout tonight into the next 24 hours, you'll see things calm down quite a bit, not nearly as much strong wind over the next 24 hours. As we take a look at your full 5-day forecast, Thursday, 20% chance of rain. Things should clear up, and 35 degrees on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, though, your weekend always in view, is looking nice, though, with 41 degrees and 33 degrees as your high. Monday will warm back up just a bit to 39 degrees. Partly to mostly cloudy for all of those days, though no rain should be there to worry about.
So no rain, no snow. This is February in Syracuse. Do you think we'll be getting any snow sometime soon?
Well, like I said, you can see some temperatures that drop quite a bit overnight. So if we get any precipitation overnight, you could see some flurries as those temperatures dip down. But during the day, we're staying well above freezing in most cases.
Well, thanks so much, Nick.
A new study shows that an extra 40 minutes of sitting will dramatically increase the risk of getting type 2 diabetes. The study associated a 22% increase for getting type 2 diabetes and a 39% increase for metabolic syndrome. And the first known Zika virus locally acquired in the United States has been sexually transmitted. This is according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Tuesday in Texas. Dallas County health officials confirmed that the patient had sexual relations with someone that recently traveled to Venezuela and was infected with the mosquito-borne illness. The virus is rampant in South America. Now, despite the global public health threat, experts in central New York say mosquitoes carrying the Zika virus are not found in the local area.
A new monster spider has been taking over the internet. The 5-milliliter daddy longlegs species can be barely seen in the forests of southwestern Oregon. With long hanging appendages, the species may be frightening to look at, but it is completely harmless. Turning to consumer news, Yahoo Incorporated announced Tuesday that 15% of its workforce will be laid off. Digital magazines, Yahoo Games, and other Yahoo properties will be discontinued. Production of original scripted content will also be discontinued. This comes following the second year in a row Yahoo president and CEO Marissa Mayer shared plans to help the company grow after poor growth.
Superstar Lady Gaga is set to sing the national anthem at the Super Bowl 50 on Sunday. The singer adds to the musical lineup, joining Coldplay and Beyoncé, who are set to play at the halftime show. Bruno Mars, Adele, Rihanna, and Taylor Swift have also been rumored to join the Pepsi spectacle. And turning to the Tony Awards, James Corden will be hosting the 70th Annual Tony Awards on June 12th at New York's Beacon Theater. The comedian and former Broadway star is the host of The Late Late Show and stars in the famous segment Carpool Karaoke. In 2012, Corden won a Tony for his performance in the comedy One Man, Two Governors.
Coming up next in sports, it's National Signing Day. What head coach Dino Babers has to say about the SU football program next season. Also, Boeheim and company had a nice overtime win over Virginia Tech. We'll have coverage of that and more coming up next.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Well, National Signing Day for college football is in full swing at the moment. It seems like this day becomes more and more popular every year. The University of Michigan inked the #1 ranked recruit in the nation earlier in the day as the Wolverines added defensive tackle Rashawn Gary to the roster. The 5-star recruit from Paramus, New Jersey, also had offers from UNC, Clemson, Alabama, Auburn, and Ole Miss. A little closer to home, new SU football coach Dino Babers was hard at work bringing in the next wave of Orange recruits. Currently, Syracuse has 20 players locked up for next season. Citrus TV's Marco Sochi has a look at the class and reaction from Coach Babers' press conference.
Head coach Dino Babers addressed the media today on National Signing Day, and he's happy with this year's class of 20 recruits, but he says the work has just begun.
The 2016 and the 2017 class will be a blend, and the things we did not get done in the first class in 2016 will get done in 2017, and together that'll be the foundation of the new era of what we're trying to do here at Syracuse University.
While Babers and the Orange wait for next year's class to arrive, they'll need all the help they can get.
I can tell you this, that we need every able, capable man that can play. And we're even looking for more players. We may put an ad out in the school newspaper and see what we can get out of the fraternities. But it's going to be a situation where whoever our players are, we'll gather together, we'll huddle up, we'll sing a Kumbaya song, and we'll go to spring practice, we'll go to two-a-days, and we'll be ready to play in the ACC.
3 of the recruits already started classes here at SU, but the rest of the 17 will be here this summer. Reporting from the football wing at Manley Fieldhouse, I'm Marco Sochi, Citrus TV.
Well, last night, the Syracuse men's basketball team decided to pull off a comeback over Virginia Tech 68-60 in overtime. It was the second straight year that the Orange came back on the Hokies. SU did not have a lead at any point in regulation. Then the freshmen Malachi Richardson and Tyler Lydon came up clutch late in the game, hitting shots in the last few minutes. Then it was Silent G. Michael Benajay nailed a three-point shot with 34 seconds left on the clock, taking the game to OT. In the extra session, Richardson and Cooney, who was quiet pretty much the entire night, sank three-pointers, and a Lydon dunk secured the win for the Orange. Boeheim and company have over a week to get ready for what he is calling the hardest stretches of the season. Syracuse battles Florida State next Thursday, February 11th at the Dome. And after a nice win over 16th-ranked Miami on Monday, the Syracuse women's basketball team earned a spot in the USA Today's coaches poll, coming in at 23rd. Coach Q and the team are back in action tomorrow night against Clemson at the Dome. The Tigers are a horrible 4-17 on the season, while the Orange are coming in at a modest 16-6. So as long as the rest of the season is not a meltdown, SU should see another tournament bid for the fourth consecutive season. There's just 7 games left before the ACC and NCAA tournament season begins. Super Bowl 50 is just 4 straight days away, but there's another team that is already talking about plans for next season. As you probably have heard, the Rams recently moved to Los Angeles. Now, the team is searching for a starting quarterback, and apparently Broncos signal caller Peyton Manning could potentially be in the plans. Manning is 39 years old and has played in the NFL since 1998. He, of course, led the Colts to the Super Bowl twice, winning once, and then was picked up by the Broncos in 2011, where he went to the Super Bowl in 2013. Peyton also announced today that doctors think he will probably need a hip replacement surgery sometime in the near future.
Well, Jared, the big game, who do you got? You think Peyton Manning's going to take it home?
Everybody, that's the story. Peyton talked to Bill Belichick after the AFC Championship and said, this is probably my final run, so, that's been a good time. But I think I'm going to go with the Panthers in this one. The offense of Carolina just looks so explosive, and Denver didn't exactly impress me the last couple of weeks.
Okay, we'll have to see what happens then. Well, planning a wedding and looking to cut the costs?
We'll tell you the most affordable cities to get married in when we come back.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Well, Nick, we woke up to some wind this morning. What should we wake up to tomorrow?
Well, the good news is tomorrow you won't wake up to any wind, only about 9 miles an hour. Temperature should be right around 37 degrees though, so things are going to cool off overnight. No rain, no snow tomorrow morning.
No rain, no snow, but the weather changes every 15 minutes in Syracuse.
That's true.
What should we expect by noon?
By noon, things are going to warm up just a little bit. Your high temperature looking right around 39 degrees.
Thank you, Nick. So the personal finance website WalletHub.com surveyed the 150 biggest cities in America to find out which ones were the best places to get married in.
The top 5 are Orlando, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Tampa, and Springfield, Missouri.
And the bottom 5, Anchorage, Worcester, Massachusetts, Newark, New Jersey, Yonkers, New York, and Moreno Valley, California.
The website released data showing the average couple spends more than $26,000 on their weddings.
They say that one of the biggest factors in keeping costs down, location, location, location. Now, Gabby, $26,000 on a wedding. Are you going to be in that ballpark?
I'll probably be over the ballpark if we're being honest here.
And Nick, how about a place to get married for you? Was yours on the list?
Place to get married, I don't know about. One of the ones on the list certainly sounds nice. Florida's always nice. I know near to Gabby's
Florida's
heart.
got 2.
Florida girl. Florida's always a nice place, but something simple, something maybe it doesn't come quite as close to that $26,000 mark. That's all I'm saying.
Well, that's all for us now, our broadcast. For more news anytime, make sure you check out our website, CitrusTV.net. I'm Gabriella Russ.
And I'm Max Darrow. Good night.